Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
Put the barrage! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Launcher's found 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here. Dynamic team gets a 4-man tire!
Those who find the picks will save the fights, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
100 gets 3 with the primal rage!
Experience tranquility.
I'm vibing with whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else in between, good evening and welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 Championship Bracket coverage. Tonight, we start the semi-finals of the Transcendence tier, where one team tonight is punching their ticket to the grand finals match. Will it be the number 1 seeded Battalion, or the number 2 seeded Devil Dukes? There's only one way to find out. My name is Bowsy, and I'm joined here by Dividing on the cast and Keisho on the production. Dividing, how are you doing this fine night?
I am doing fantastic, Bowsy. I am super excited to see some of the best of the best that the Tranquility Transcendence tier has to offer tonight, as we started off these playoffs with so many teams, dozens of teams vying for a spot in this championship bracket, and we are down now to just 4. Of course, both Battalion and Devil Dukes went into the original playoff bracket as the number 2 seed in their respective regions, but Battalion, unlike Devil Dukes, was able to win their seeding match against their number 1 seed in order to get themselves the bye week going into the championship bracket, which means they didn't have to play last weekend.
Absolutely. Battalion getting that reverse sweep win over the Decapitators made it so that they got a bye week into the championship bracket. Devil Dukes, unfortunately, was on the receiving end of another reverse sweep against Epizeuxis. They had to face off against Insidious, but they were able to get a 4-1 victory to make it over here. And again, one team tonight is going to be eliminated here, Dividing. It's going to be one of these teams, but the other is going to be facing off against the winner of Decapitators versus Epizeuxis in the championship bracket finals for Season 8.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of an argument to be made here about which team has the advantage over having the bye week going into this one. On one hand, of course, a Battalion didn't have to play last week, so they had an extra week to prepare for this matchup and sort of study Devil Duke's game in last week and try and figure out some of their strategies and how to counter them. But Devil Dukes are coming into this game kind of hot, right? Because they have the win against Insidious under their belt from last week. It was a pretty convincing win, like you mentioned, 4-1. So they're going to be coming into this with a whole load of momentum, and I feel like momentum is very, very important, especially when it comes to a single elimination bracket like where we find ourselves right now.
Absolutely, and Insidious was a favorite to win the championship and at least make it far in the championship bracket, so they definitely, Devil Dukes being able to eliminate them early in the championship bracket shows that they are not willing to be messed with. We're going to be getting into the game here shortly. The first map is chosen by Battalion as they are the higher seed, and they have chosen Ilios for our first map of the night here, Dividing.
Really interesting map pick here from Battalion. Of course, I'm not as familiar with this team as you. I'm sure you are here, Bowsy. Is there anything about the play style of this Battalion team that might cause them to want to pick Ilios?
It could really depend on that tank line. It could depend on a lot of other factors. Pro Gamer was recently added to this team, coming over from Throwing or Bad during the playoff season, and he ended up making a lot of impact on Throwing or Bad for his Pharah play. You also have the tank line, PDK and Telm, who are mainly known as sort of flex tanks. They both know how to play off tank and main tank, but PDK loves to whip out that Roadhog whenever he must, so it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to bring into this sort of series and what they decide to do here. So we'll see what they ended up going into here. Seems like we have some issues with both the teams as we try to get into the map.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out pretty quickly, I'm pretty sure. But I'll tell you what, if I'm hearing some Pharah play potentially coming out of Pro Gamer 360, that makes me a little excited, especially on maps like maps like Lighthouse that are very open skies, but also don't have as long a sight line as a map like Ruins, right? It becomes a very, very nice little playground there from Pharah, is able to sort of chuck in those AoE rockets from the sort of mid-range area, and it's really going to be up to those DPS on Devil Duke's phone and silly shooter to try and counter that Pharah, if that is what Pro Gamer decides to walk out with here. Of course, we will not know anything for another 10 or so seconds.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what these two teams come out with right now on Ilios and which team's going to be able to get the better. The first map could be the decider map. It could swing the momentum in favor of your team. And right now with the compositions we see, definitely some interesting looks from both teams. And already one of those heroes I mentioned before we got into the map dividing is already in play for the side of Battalion, and it's gone.
Hey, we do have that for Mercy currently coming out from Pro Gamer and Sushi. Of course, we do have a pause instantly. It seems like there is so much that is getting in the way of both these teams trying to actually get into a game here. So, but we do see some composition choices here, so we can talk about that. Of course, we do have the Firm Mercy currently being chosen from Pro Gamer and Sushi. I mentioned before how Pharah will have a pretty good time here on Well, especially because, like we said, it's not as long of a sight line as the Ruins map, and at the same time, you also get to take advantage of that concussive blast to try and knock people into the well. So, Phone, who I already know she's a fantastic DPS player overall, along with Silly Shooter, are going to have to be on constant alert to try and pluck that far out of the sky.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see. Phone ended up getting disconnected. Apparently their mouse wasn't working, which is kind of important when it comes to Overwatch, unless you own a controller, which like most of our producers do. But we're going to be getting back into the map here very quickly here, and we're going to be able to see what happens between these two teams and which team is going to be able to get the better of it here on Ilios Well as we get back into the series here very quickly.
Yes, we are back into this one. Producer, please stop changing settings. We gotta see the game. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The chat is just gonna do chat things for the moment. But we actually do see a bit of a dogfight going on in the air right now with Phone and Crystal. They're going to team up to go for an Echo Mercy fight against the Pharah Mercy. I kind of like this. The Echo has a lot more maneuverability in the air compared to the Pharah.
It could definitely be a lot easier to aim those sort of rockets with the Echo and be able to get that killed, unless Pro Gamer's in the air, gets that direct kill onto Crystal, and the direct on the phone as well. Pro Gamer living up to their name right now here on the side of Battalion. Battalion did lose one player in that fight, however, and now Pro Gamer falling very low, but Star Platinum able to kill out Dizzy here on the Wrecking Ball, and it's going to be a one fight here for the side of Battalion as they'll take the first cap here on Ilios.
Well, you hyped up the Pharah on Pro Gamer 360, and it did not take very long for them to prove exactly why. Forces Phone to swap off onto the Soldier 76 to get some direct hit scan pressure onto that Pharah, and now Pro Gamer is going to have to play around those walls a little bit more, but still, reaping the benefits of a very good first fight, already has that barrage ready, and can easily take Devil Dukes off guard with it.
Definitely. So we'll see what the move is here from the side of Devil Dukes. Right now they, of course, have phone on that Soldier, getting nano boosted here, trying to focus down that Pharah of Pro Gamer. Able to get the kill on the Star Platinum with the Helix Rockets. Already a big pick here for the side of Devil Dukes. But Pro Gamer's still alive, and they boop phone into the pit. Pulse Bomb from Silly Shooter doesn't land on anything, and Pro Gamer unleashes the barrage onto the Diva and the Mercy. Gets himself eliminated in the process, and that Battalion looking very good thus far. The Valkyrie and the Res will come out from Sushi, getting that Res on a Pro Gamer, and the Mines will come out from Dizzy, just trying to get any sort of remaining kills. But Battalion looking really strong thus far.
What a nuts res there from Sushi, just diving into the middle of Devil Dukes there. No thoughts at all, just trying to save the Pharah and manages to get it off just in time to get Pro Gamer back into this fight. And that is big because it seems like a lot of the firepower of this Battalion comp is behind that Pharah, and without it, they seem to lose a lot of that lethality that comes with that composition. But you still have the Pharah alive, patrolling the skies, and you have 3 other ultimates on the line, almost 4 from Telm, to get that Diva Bomb up to hold on to this point. And because they weren't able to force it, Fauzi, it's 85% and counting here for Battalion. They've got to take it now, Devil Dukes.
Devil Dukes have to try and make the engage. They do have the ults to do it. They'll start out with Crystal on the Valkyrie, and now Phone uses the Tactical Visor, just trying to force out that Pharah into a weird position. Mines come out from PDK, however, trying to stop Devil Dukes in their tracks, and now overtime is triggered here for the side of Devil Dukes, trying to get any sort of progress onto this point, as Phone just chases PDK on that Wrecking Ball, trying to eliminate the tank, but it's unable to get any sort of value. Telm uses the bomb. Silly Shooter able to get the kill onto the opposing Tracer, and Telm just barely able to get back into that Diva mech before he falls. But Battalion still trying to kick themselves. Devil Dukes trying to push into the aggressor and trying to get these sort of kills, and Phone has found Sushi on the Mercy. It is winnable here for Devil Dukes as they get 3 and are able to get the flip on the point.
Yeah, finally, it seems like Devil Dukes are able to take advantage of the superior healing that they have with the Ana from Aplum compared to the Lucio of Greninja. If you're able to lengthen out these fights and make it more difficult for Pro Gamer to get those quick kills with the rocket boost, eventually that superior healing that you're going to have is going to outdo the speed boost that Greninja gives his teammates. So a really good job there from Devil Dukes to keep this long.
Ooh, but Star Platinum gets that beautiful Pulse Bomb onto Phone. Pro Gamer dies to Tommy Slat here on the Diva Bomb, so it's still possible here for Devil Dukes, especially now that Star Platinum is fallen. Telm able to get the kill on the Crystal, however, that's big. The Mercy's out of the picture, but Tommy trying to bring it back here, getting that kill on the PDK. But Pro Gamer's back in the fight. He has the barrage, and he gets 2 with it. Pro Gamer trying to turn it around in the favor here for Battalion. Already now you see Battalion pushing forward. Tommy and Aplum are the only 2 remaining here near the point. Overtime is triggered as Battalion get the flip off onto the point once again, as Battalion cleaning up the remains. Tommy will die to the hands of Pro Gamer, and Battalion will be able to try and clean it all up. All the stuff is the Lucio and the ball here. Dizzy and the Crystal trying to keep themselves alive as much as possible, but Crystal will fall to Telm, and it looks like Battalion just in the process of cleaning it all up. Dizzy goes down into the pit, sinks himself straight in there, and at the end of the day, Battalion will get the first point here on Ilios.
Devil Dukes just didn't have the they just didn't have enough to be able to counter the Pharah there. At the end of the day, Pro Gamer just took over that round and pretty much dared Devil Dukes to try and do anything about them. Forced to swap onto Phone, but wasn't quite enough. That Soldier 76, I just don't think he does enough damage on his own in order to take the Pharah out of the sky, especially when you have such a committed Mercy pocket as Sushi was. But now, as we transition over to Lighthouse, this is a slightly less strong map here for Pharah because the other team can sort of take shelter under that lighthouse point. It has a very enclosed ceiling, and Pharah is forced to kind of poke in from the sides. So we'll see how Pro Gamer tries to play around that this time around, while also having to try and deal with Phone and Crystal taking up that Echo Mercy counter yet again.
Yeah, definitely. Phone and Crystal want to try to commit to this Echo composition. Obviously, Phone switching over to that Soldier, just trying to get rid of Pro Gamer, but they didn't expect him to keep running the Pharah here. So we'll see what the move is here. Devil Dukes coming in with the same composition we saw them roll out with. And already Pro Gamer showing what he's made of once again. Eliminates Phone with another direct rocket. And now Crystal's dead to Telm. It's going to be a pretty easy cap here for Battalion. But that being said, Devil Dukes start getting the progress here on the point, but they're unable to cap it in time. PDK will get that kill on the Silly Shooter, and it looks like it's going to be an easy cap once again for the Battalion.
Yeah, and at some point in that fight, Crystal got separated from Phone. You saw the Mercy on screen just wandering around, looking for that Pharah to try and latch back onto, but Phone was nowhere to be found until she was dead. So, I mean, you just can't be doing that. Especially with a Pharah as proficient as Pro Gamer is, you have to be able to, at the very least, take up Pro Gamer's attention so that she's not pounding away at the tanks in the front line.
We do see Silly Shooter switching over to the Cassidy here to try and deal with this Pharah a little bit more. But Pro Gamer's already found Aplom, who used the Nano Boost on a Silly Shooter. But now Battalion's starting to falter a little bit. Devil Duke's able to get 4 in this fight now, and Greninja's able to get the kill on the Dizzy, but it won't be enough as Devil Dukes will be able to clean up the field, and they'll begin the cap back on with 39% in favor of Battalion.
Nicely done there from Devil Dukes, really taking the initiative there on that one, not just standing around in the chokes for a while and just taking the AoE rockets there from Pro Gamers. Instead, really rushed onto those tanks, but Pro Gamer is lurking in the back right now with that barrage at the ready, is looking for the perfect moment to let it fly, but Phone is wise to this, is going to try and make sure Pro Gamer can't get close.
Definitely Battalion trying to get back on this point, and Pro Gamer gets the double barrage on the Silly Shooter and Apom. Now there's no hit scan on the side of Devil Dukes. Phone able to switch over to the Tracer, however, with that duplicate, and is trying to get a lot of damage in, and we'll get the kill on the Star Platinum, and now Dizzy's found Telm as well. Battalion need to try and make some big picks here, and PDK's found Crystal. That's a good start here for Battalion. Sushi gets the res back up on the Telm, and the Deadeye will come out here from Silly Shooter. Might not be able to get anything as nobody is in sight here for the side of Battalion. Nope, it won't, as Battalion just keep trying to put the pressure onto the point here and try to find any sort of progress. Battalion still doing their best, but Greninja just found A-Plum, and now Devil Duke start to falter a little bit. The bomb will come out from Tommy Slat, will remove Telm from his, but he gets to use his own bomb as well. We'll get the bomb kill onto Dami. Doesn't get the kill because Greninja got the kill, but at the end of the day, Battalion will get back the point. 63% for Devil Dukes.
There were so many ults there used at the end of that fight for Devil Dukes to try and hold on, try and get that point back. They used the Deadeye, they used the Diva Bomb, and at the end of the day, it may have gotten you a couple of extra percentage points, but you are now playing into 4 ultimates from Battalion, including both support ultimates. They're going to be so sturdy on this next push.
B comes out from Greninja, unable to save Telm in time, however, as Phone is able to get the Sticky Bomb kill onto the mech. So Telm, without a mech in this fight right now, Devil Duke still trying to push in, but Star Platinum has found Phone with the Pulse Bomb. The res will come out from Crystal, and Aplom is able to get the kill on the PDK, but the barrage from Pro Gamer, able to eliminate Dizzy, but Aplom gets the return kill. It's back and forth thus far, but Battalion just barely trying to stay in it. Star Platinum barely gets eliminated, but at the end of the day, Battalion able to stabilize, and Greninja's showing up on that Lucio as well.
They've got to get out right now. They've got to get out right now. They have the ults. They have the tools to try and do something here, Devil Dukes. They have the beat. They have the duplicate. They have the mind. So many tools to get onto this point. But with only 5 seconds until they lose this first map of Ilios, they've got to get on there quick. Dizzy's going to unleash the mines to try and get some room.
They definitely do. The room is there. Silly Shooter's able to eliminate Sushi, and now Aplom able to get the kill on the Telm as well. Devil Duke's starting to finally show up when it matters the most, and the kills are going in favor. Devil Duke to be able to flip the point once again, and now Battalion need to find a way back in.
Just enough time, but you could see the desperation there for Devil Dukes. They have nothing coming into this next fight. Absolutely 0 ultimates and no Tracer either. Silly Shooter goes down to who else but Pro Gamer, and they're rolling back onto this point.
Yeah, Battalion's starting to make their way in. PDK uses the mine, but the bomb is eaten from Star Platinum thanks to Tommy Slat. Bone able to eliminate Talon's mech, but Greninja gets the boop kill on the Tommy Slat. That could be giant. Star Platinum also eliminates Crystal. Silly Shooter's coming back into this fight, but they don't have a pulse bomb ready, and the flint has already been flipped over in favor of Battalion. Overtime once again triggered here as Devil Dukes try to find their way back into the point, but PDK has found both the DPS, and Battalion will find themselves winning here on Ilios and taking the first map in the series.
A very close lighthouse map. You can see the wheels turning there on Devil Dukes, trying to figure out how to counter that Pharah, and they did a much better job than they did on Well, but unfortunately, who else to get the play of the game but this Pharah player that completely, it seemed like, took over the match. It was either you had to do something about this Pharah, or you were going to get eviscerated by them. Look at those direct shots. Just nasty stuff from Pro Gamer.
Definitely, Pro Gamer definitely has been a nuts Pharah when it comes to Transcendence here. And overall, Tranquility in general, very good pickup during the midway break between the regular season and the playoffs here for the side of Battalion. But now Devil Dukes are met with a situation where they have to choose our next map here heading into map number 2. It's an assault map dividing. So which one do you think they decide to choose here?
Well, I think you want to make sure that you can't get Pro Gamer back on that Pharah. Try and get them to as uncomfortable as possible. And yeah, they immediately say Volskaya. This is a very, very good, I think, pick for them. Pharah is, I think, kind of playable on point A defense, where you can kind of set up right around that choke and just rain down rockets as they try and push through. Other than that, though, Pharah has a lot of trouble. She is not very good on attack when she has to kind of push onto the point, and then on point B, just in general, because it's a more closed-in ceiling, it's not quite as it doesn't give Pharah as much room to work as she would like. So I think this is a really solid opportunity for Devil Dukes to bring the fight back to the ground, where I think they have some fantastic potential if they can force Battalion off of this Pharah comp.
Definitely. We'll see what Devil Dukes is able to accomplish here. Battalion still sorting out their sort of options here, as we're going to be heading into Volskaya here very quickly. They might be making some swaps because they might have some swaps ready, but it seems like they are not going to be doing exactly that. It seems like they're going to be sticking with the roster that they have with Pro Gamer and Star Platinum on that DPS line, which honestly, even when Pro Gamer wasn't showing up, we saw a strong performance from Star Platinum as well dividing.
Sure.
So this really could be a battle of the DPS between Silly Shooter and Phone and Pro Gamer and Star Platinum.
Yeah, it's going to very quickly turn into, in my mind, for Battalion, who is going to be the next person to step up if Pro Gamer starts having a bit of trouble. Over that first map, it really seemed like Pro Gamer was doing a bulk of the damage, creating a bulk of the room for the team, and everyone else was just kind of cleaning up the scraps that Pro Gamer left behind. But when you're being counterpicked like this, and I'm sure that if Ilios was any indication, they're slowly but surely figuring out how to deal with that Pharah. How are Battalion going to adjust? Who is going to step up next to be the next obstacle for Devil Dukes to jump past? Like we said, this is a 1-to-4 series. It is a long one today, ladies and gentlemen, which gives us tons of time for adjustments and counter adjustments by both teams.
Absolutely. We'll see what the teams decide to pull out here. No swaps on either side heading into our second map of the day. So we'll see which team is able to take advantage of it, which team's going to be able to come up with the compositions. Battalion on the attack and Devil Dukes on the defense. And right now, dividing Devil Dukes are showing an interesting composition that we're most likely used to here on Volskaya.
Yeah, this is an Orisa-based composition. Very much Volskaya-based composition. Dizzy's going to get set up on that high ground there and just trying to hold up top for as long as possible. I'm sure Phone is going to be up there as well, and just trying to sustain for as long as possible up there and try and force Battalion to try and come to them, right? Silly Shooter, of course, is going to be in the back on that Tracer, trying to pepper in damage from the back and just be an annoyance. But even with the counter picks, Pro Gamer and Greninja this time, actually, are going to be going out on the For Mercy. This is an interesting little change here. Sushi's going to be on the Zenyatta this time around, which means it's going to be a new Mercy accompanying that Pharah.
Yeah, Greninja just wanted those Reddit Lucio boosts when it came to Ilios. You know, Ilios is a Reddit Lucio's home, so now he's switching over back to that main support role with the Mercy and just pocketing Pro Gamer here. Also, you know, they just want to exchange playtime between the two. It'll be interesting to see what the engage attempt is here from Battalion. It's interesting because PDK is probably trying to move around well on this Wrecking Ball and trying to get behind to try and boop people, so we'll see if he's able to do it. And exactly, he's right in the back line. He's ready for the gauge.
Yeah, you can see how much damage that Telm is taking on the just trying to get through this point. First of all, they're all just kind of hanging back, trying to pepper in damage until PDK is going to be coming in on this engage. And here it is right now. Here's the pile drive, and it is forcing everyone back. And now this is the go button here. Pro Gamer is going to push forward.
Ooh, but Phone able to get the kill onto PDK as well. So now Battalion are down that main tank and that really distraction factor here for their engage. But PDK or Battalion trying to keep pushing forward, but now Crystal's found Star Platinum. This has to be a retreat here for the side of Battalion as Devil Dukes start to get some hold.
Nicely done. First fight there from Devil Dukes here. Slow and steady wins the fight, and that's exactly how they did it. They just kept on forcing Battalion to stay back on the choke and stay back on the choke and try and pepper in some damage, but the composition of Devil Dukes is much more well-suited for these longer range engagements. And even when PDK was able to get that engagement, there was just too much ground for the rest of the team to cover in order to be effective. So great start from them, and they have several ultimates coming up into this next fight here, Bowsy. The Supercharger, the Pulse Bomb, the Tactical Visor, the Amplification Matrix. So many tools to try and counter the barrage on the other side.
Oh, but that's a massive E coming out from Telm. Silly tried to get rid of Sushi on that Zenyatta, or at least force out the Transcendence. Transcendence gets used regardless as Battalion trying to make their way into this. And Bonus found 2 Velspar with the Tactical Visor. Make that 3 for Phone. Trying to show up when it matters the most. Will get killed out by PDK, but the damage has already been done.
I'm sorry, what version of Overwatch have we been playing here? When have I seen a 3K Soldier 76 Tactical Visor except in the most recent season of the Overwatch League? Crazy stuff that Phone is bringing out here, showing that Soldier 76 is just as viable on Overwatch 1 if you know how to play the character right. But unfortunately, not that time. PDK is going to get into the back and get the assassination kill onto that soldier, and now they're going to go in with those mines.
Definitely, and now Pro Gamer has a perfect opportunity to come right in and rain Hellfire on the side of Devil Dukes. Gets both supports in that barrage from the backline, and now Battalion looking very clean and comfortable. Tommy will use the bomb trying to just split apart the members of Battalion, but it won't be of much use. Phone running back, but at the end of the day, Battalion have the picks, they have the kills, and they have the ultimates if they really need to invest them. And at the end of the day, they will be getting this first point here on Volskaya Industries.
Yeah, a solid defense, though, from Devil Dukes. They're going to get that point down to, I'd say, about 35 seconds before they get it. Actually, the rally gets committed here from Crystal. Looks like Devil Dukes actually want to get back onto this one. They weren't expecting this Battalion. Pro Gamer's down. They're going to use the Amp Majors as well. Both supportals were committed. Try and take this back.
Yeah, definitely, it looks possible here for Devil Dukes. They were able to eliminate one player on the side of Battalion. Now PDK is dead, so now suddenly Devil Dukes have shown themselves back into this fight. Pro Gamer is back on the Pharah now after switching off to a different hero, and suddenly Battalion have retreated, and then they only have 10 seconds.
This is absolutely huge. What a ballsy play from Devil Dukes, and it's looking like it's going to pay off. The picks continue to come in for them as Battalion desperately try and tiptoe onto the point, but there's not much a Baby Diva can do in the face of a Tracer, and round 1 is complete. I thought we'd be going for a lot longer here, Bowsy, but thanks to a double support ultimate usage here from Devil Dukes, they actually hold Battalion at point A.
Definitely a really good showing there. Battalion not able to take the first point. They were able to take 83%, but that's still not 1 point. You only get one chance here at defense, and you have to be careful of your sort of pushing in here. Phone asking us, Celtics or Warriors? I'm not going to answer that question because people will flame me in the chat, but still, regardless, it's going to be interesting to see what the response is here from Battalion on their defense. As Devil Dukes, they only need about 84% in order to take this map and tie up the series heading into map number 3. And right now, no surprise to see what Battalion are showing up here.
Again, like I said at the very start of this map, Pharah is very viable on this point A defense. Pro Gamer can easily just get set up either from long range by the back high ground or short range by the choke and just start peppering in those AoE rockets that they are so good with. But it is the same kind of situation here from Devil Dukes. You have phone on that soldier to try and put constant pressure on that Pharah, make sure that she doesn't overstep her boundaries. Aplom is going to be putting in some extra damage there with that Discord Orb, and of course Tommy Slat's gonna be able to get up to the top and do it and get some extra pressure on that Pharah as well if she is to go super far in. But the main goal of this comp is to try and dislodge this Orisa, the centerpiece of the Battalion comp, set up on the low ground this time around with that shield. Can they get around to the back and force her to relocate?
See if it's able to be done. Battalion waiting for that sort of engage, but already you see Devil Duke's starting to make their engage slowly. PDK just pepping out this right rim. You can see there's a few teammates there for the side of Devil Dukes, including Tommy on that D.Va and both supports, but no one able to push in. Beautiful hold coming in from PDK, and now both supports are dead for the side of Devil Dukes. Sorry, not from PDK, from Telm being able to get that hold, but at the end of the day, Battalion, they're going to still win the fight easily.
Yeah. Enjoy those Orisa halts while you still can, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be much longer before Orisa is completely reworked, but for the moment, Telm with a beautiful halt there, right as Devil Dukes were trying to rotate up onto the high ground and forcing Aplom back to spawn. Beautiful stuff there from the tank line this time around of of Battalion to get them a good first hold here. But now look at this here from Devil Dukes going for a bit of a two-pronged attack. Silly Shooter and Dizzy have gotten around to the back.
Definitely. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to execute this to the best. Right now, Silly Shooter trying to get any sort of pressure, but Pro Gamer has found phone, so that hit scan threat out of the picture here for Battalion. Silly Shooter, however, gets Greninjas, and that's a big pick here for the side.
Oh, not again. Oh, my gosh.
Almost got it again, but now
saw the D.Va.
Yeah, he did, but now Star Platinum able to bring him back here with those 2 kills. And now, once again, it's a clean reset here for the side of Devil Duke. Battalion get 2 minutes off the clock.
Pro Gamer's pure existence is doing so much for them. Even though Pro Gamer didn't get anything out of the barrage that time around, just floating around to that Omega room forces Tommy Slat to go off of their original post and go back into that room to try and protect the supports, getting all grouped up and super easy for the support line and the tank line of Battalion to take him down. And all of a sudden, Bowsy, a minute 40 left on the clock, and Devil Dukes have absolutely no progress to show for it.
We'll see if they're able to try and make the moves here. That Pulse Bomb is online from Silly Shooter. Flux comes out here from PDK and eliminates the Zenyatta immediately. So already a big pick there for the side of Battalion. And Devil Dukes, once again, they're just going to wait a bit and just reset here because they're already down one of their critical pieces.
And they win that with just the one ultimate. So huge to get that with just the Gravitic Flux, which means Pro Gamer has time to get the Barrage back online, already halfway to another one. You have the Supercharger, you have the Deadeye, you have the Amplification Matrix to try and hold on to this one. So many really good defensive ultimates that are going to force Devil Dukes away. Silly Shooter has got to get something done with this Pulse Bomb to try and get an opening pickoff onto the team, or at least force people out of position here.
Here comes Silly Shooter looking for that Pulse Bomb. The drum is used here from Telm, and the trans from Iplom trying to push the Devil Dukes in. Already you see a lot of progress going forward. Pulse Bomb is a whiff. Gets a lot of damage on the Sushi and forces out that Immortality field, but is unable to get any sort of kills. Mines are used here from Dizzy as Battalion try to find their way back onto the point here as Devil Dukes make their way forward. And that's a big kill from Star Platinum. Eliminates Crystal. The Barrage will not, or the Rally will not be used in this fight. Speaking of Barrage, there it is. Gets rid of the mech here for the side of Tommy, who forces out the bomb, but Pro Gamer kills himself in the process. And Bones found 2 in this fight. Make that 3 for the Soldier once again. Devil Dukes cleaning up the fight, and now it's going to be a desperate move for Battalion, but it might not be enough.
10 seconds left on the clock. If they can get back into this one, Star Platinum still does have that Deadeye, but no one can get there in time. The Devil Dukes comp was simply too slow, and Devil Dukes are going to go up 1-1. They're going to tie up the series here on Volskaya thanks to a really smart map choice and then also a really smart play on their defense.
Absolutely, and here's the move that made the difference here. Phone being able to get this 3K at the end, being able to get those kills that they need, and being able to win the point here for the Devil Dukes, as now they are tied up into the series, heading into our third map, our hybrid map. Now, let it be known, halftime doesn't happen until after map number 3 here in the championship bracket, because, hey, it's halftime. You're going to be going up against a lot more maps here. So it'll be interesting to see if that halftime difference can affect both of these teams. But right now, what do you think is on Battalion's mind heading into a hybrid map that they have to choose?
It's gonna come down to, I think Battalion are really committed to the FAR at this point. Even after getting kind of counterpicked against it, they still went for it the entire time. It's what they're most comfortable with. It's what they're strongest at. So it's probably going to be a map that can benefit off of that, and that is exactly what we get. The instant map pick from Battalion, it is going to be Eichenwald, which is such a huge FARA map, especially like in the early years of the Overwatch League. So many awesome FARA moments came from this map, especially on point A, point B. You got tons of open air for that FARA to just float around in and do damage from wherever they so please. Devil Dukes are going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't think Phone's Soldier is going to be enough to take down the FARA by itself when she's flying so high in the sky.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what the move is here from Devil Dukes if they try to run something more to counter this Battalion squad. We have shown, obviously, that Phone Soldier can work when it matters the most.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of being able to set them up in position so that they can be able to eliminate that FARA. It's not going to come easy as like a plat game. You have to be in position. You have to be in the right circumstance in order to eliminate the threat on the enemy team. As we head into Eichenwald here, it's going to be once again Battalion on the attack and Devil Dukes on the defense. So we'll see what they decide to do here.
Gotta say, very quick here from both teams. There was very little conversation between either of them. It was just, Battalion says Eichenwald, both teams say R, they go right on back in. That shows that both teams are very confident in their strategies right now, thinking they don't even have to try and think about, okay, what if the team does this? What if the team does this? That is the kind of confidence, the kind of self-assuredness that you expect out of teams that have made it to the semifinals of the Transcendence tier. Well, we do have, this is interesting coming out of Battalion, but they do have 30 seconds to change it, and I could be getting trolled. So let's instead focus on the defenders, where we actually see Devil Dukes trying to play the same game here as Battalion. This time it's going to be Phone taking up the FARA.
Yeah, an interesting sort of strat here. You could literally flip the two teams, and I would believe you when it came to this map thus far. I would be convinced that Devil Dukes were not running the FAR here, and the Battalion will be on the defense here, which they are not. But so it's gonna be interesting to see what Battalion do. Obviously, this Sombra might just be for scouting, but Pro Gamer now coming out on the Ashe this time.
Yeah, of course, that damage-boosted Ashe is going to do a ton of damage, but going from the from the rockets to the hit scan is a very big change in playstyle and projectile speed that Pro Gamer is going to be experiencing right now. We're going to see if the adjustment ends up coming through for them. It's going to get a couple early shots there on that FARA, but Phone is not bothered by it at all, has the Mercy at her backs, and is going to take down Greninja. That is the best pick you could get here, Bowsy, because there's no res on the table.
Absolutely, and Dizzy able to eliminate Pro Gamer as well means it's going to be a quick and easy fight here for Devil Dukes. Phone just trying to get that barrage up, but at the end of the day, Devil Dukes will be winning the first fight here and getting the hold.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. You can see Devil Dukes throwing Battalion's own strategy right back at them, and Pro Gamer goes, okay, you want to go for a bit of a FARA duel? We can go for a bit of a FARA duel. It's going to go right back to it, but they take their eyes off the ground for a second, and Sushi's down.
Yeah, absolutely. Big pick there from Silly Shooter, able to eliminate the only remaining main support here for the side of Battalion. Phone also able to eliminate Telm because of that lack of a Baptiste. And at the end of the day, Devil Dukes once again continue this hold. Maybe the Faramir will not be the factor here right now, but might come into factor later.
Yeah, it's just causing so many swaps here. Now it's Telm that's going to make the next swap, going from that Orisa to that Wrecking Ball, giving the team some much-needed speed to try and take over this choke point. Star Platinum's going to do the same, but I'm concerned about how much they're swapping here because it's resetting their ult charges here. You have 4 ultimates coming online right now for Devil Dukes, and there's nothing on the other side to counter it.
And another big pick there from Silly Shooter, able to eliminate Star Platinum with that Helix Rocket. So now it's getting a lot harder here for the side of Battalion. They're trying to find answers, and they aren't finding anything right now, dividing, except the spawn room.
Pro Gamer's going down so quickly, too. It's now been 3 fights, and they're only about 60% to a barrage. Very unlike this Pharah player from these first 2 maps. Phone has had that barrage for a while, has not even needed to use it because they've been ending these fights so quickly.
Yeah, and the fights have been very going handily in the favor of Devil Dukes. They get the first pick all the time, and Silly Shooter, again, gets a Helix Rocket, this time on a Sushi. So now the Zenyatta's out of the play, and now Greninja's dead. The Silly Shooter using that tactical visor. And all of a sudden, Battalion, it's been a struggle fest thus far here on Eichenwald.
Yeah, they're just taking so much damage going in. They can't get any sort of opening pick, opening damage, opening resource usage out of Devil Dukes. When they're kind of huddled around these spawn points, and Phone is just raining down damage from above, Silly Shooter raining in damage from the back. There's so much going on. It seems like this DPS from Devil Dukes have really woken up here. But now finally Battalion are starting to come up on some ults of their own. Of course, Pro Gamer has like the 15th barrage of the game, and my goodness, look at this massive flank that they're going on right now. I don't think anyone from Devil Dukes knows this is coming.
Except they barrage the barrage and get the kill on the Pro Gamer, but Silly Shooter's out of the fight. That big pick potential is gone. The pulse bomb from Star Platinum gets Phone as well, and suddenly Battalion are starting to show up in this fight. PDK gets the kill on a Crystal, and all of a sudden Battalion finally find that key that they needed. Star Platinum will die to Tommy Slash, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Devil Dukes eventually losing this fight. Actually, no, Tommy Slash gets 2. It's potential here for the side of Devil Dukes trying to keep themselves alive. Phone's almost back. Silly Shooter's back as well. Tommy Slash got 3 in this fight thus far. Trying to turn it around once again for the Devil Dukes. This has been a common theme thus far on these maps here, Dividing.
Yeah, Crystal's gonna get back and get Dizzy back into this fight, and that's gonna give their Reese enough time to put down the Supercharger. Double damage now for the entirety of the Devil Dukes. It gets taken down, but not for doing so much damage, and they get off the point! Oh, they chased the Pharah off the point, Bowsy, and no one was touching. This is disastrous from Battalion, as they've now gotten full health for the 2nd map in a row.
Definitely not a good look from Battalion, and this time they had no progress on the point, which means the best they can get right now is a draw heading into halftime. And that's a really good look from Devil Dukes as well. Doing a really good job being able to bring it out. It looked like Star Platinum was almost on the point there, but might have just stepped off at the wrong moment, so Battalion.
I have to go look back at that replay, man. I thought for sure there was going to be someone on the point at least within that 3-second timer that they needed to do, but I guess they chased after the Tracer, they chased after the Wrecking Ball, the Diva. No one was there. That's crazy. That's crazy that happened. In the semifinal match.
In the semifinals. That's not something you should be doing in semifinals.
In the Transcendence tier.
In the Transcendence tier. It gets worse and worse the more you look at it. But still, with the defense Battalion, they're committing to this Pharah now.
Yeah, I mean, you got it, right? When you are up against the wall in a map like Battalion are right now, you go back to what you're comfortable with. Pro Gamer, Greninja right back onto that for Mercy, and daring Phone and Crystal to come out with a counter, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Honestly, Phone kind of outplayed Pro Gamer in that Pharah 1v1 on the attack, so I can imagine her feeling very confident in trying to take that duel once again. Of course, though this time around it is going to be Devil Dukes that are going to be forced to try and push into Pro Gamer, where they end up looking a lot stronger.
Yeah, definitely. The big thing I was looking at there, Silly Shooter was on the Widowmaker to start out and wanted to get that early pick onto Pro Gamer to basically win the fight immediately there for Devil Dukes, as Battalion would have already been down their main damage dealer. A kill did go on the Silly Shooter, but Crystal will get the res off here, so the Soldier is back once again in play. Interesting to see what the move is here from both sides. The Battalion just waiting for that perfect pick that they need to start off the fight.
Yeah, but look at how much space they've been allowed to get. Devil Dukes are basically already at this middle pillar and haven't gotten anything from it. They've forced the Battalion further and further back, and now they've lost their Risa, they've lost their centerpiece, and this gives Phone so much room to work.
Already 3 kills for Phone, make that 4, trying to get a 5k, but Dizzy will eliminate the PDK first, and Battalion will fall to the hands of Devil Dukes, as Devil Dukes go up 2-1 as we enter halftime.
This is really concerning now. If you're a Battalion fan, it started off so well for you on Ilios, but from Volskaya to Eichenwald, which was the map pick of Battalion, Devil Dukes seem to have your number. They seem to have figured out how to deal with your comp, your bread and butter for Mercy comp. So as we head into halftime, you've got to be thinking about what's your next move. It seems like the For Mercy is not going to be enough by itself to get you to the grand finals. You've got to come up with a plan B.
Absolutely. We'll have to see if Battalion will be able to initiate that plan B, or if they're going to be falling to the hands of Devil Dukes. When we come back, the conclusion of the series, will Battalion be able to bounce back, or the Devil Dukes punching their ticket to the grand finals next week? We'll see you at the end of the break.
situation. I already know what you're saying. I love a little conversations, and I don't want you to go changing, 'cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feels so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on a cold night. Girl, you're just so comfortable. 'Cause girl, you're just so. Girl, I love a situation. We don't spend time hesitating. And I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. 'Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feels so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on a cold night. Girl, you're just so comfortable. 'Cause girl, you're just so. We ain't gotta slow it down. Jeans on when we hit the town. We don't really care who's around. But baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. 'Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Girl, you're just so comfortable. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable. It just feels so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. That's true. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on a cold air. I don't know what you do.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 playoff coverage. If you missed the match thus far, currently Devil Dukes are up 2-1 over Battalion in a chance to try and grab that grand final slot. Bowsy here with Dividing. Heading into our fourth map of the series, our escort map chosen by Battalion is Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, super interesting map to pick in this point. Very much centered around the high ground that the defense gets to play around. Some of the strongest high ground in the entire game, especially on point B, where you're able to potentially get up on top of that spaceship and fire down at the 4 little tiny doorways that the offense have to try and push through. Battalion are probably going to try and go for a sort of longer range composition and response. You see a lot of Ashe and Widowmaker played on this map because you can take advantage of that high ground of those long sight lines. And we do see a pretty significant swap coming out of Battalion. It is Air coming in place of Pro Gamer. Bowsy, what does Air bring to this team that Pro Gamer doesn't?
I mean, Pro Gamer obviously brings a Pharah, but not really showing a lot of great skill on other heroes. Air probably provides that more flexibility aspect. It'll be interesting to see what Air brings into this team. Might be a Pharah, but we might see some other stuff, including more hit scan picks. We might see more other projectile picks, like maybe Genji, Widowmaker, something along those lines that's not a Pharah, because Devil Dukes seems like they finally figured out how to deal with Pro Gamers Pharah.
Yeah, got full held on Volskaya, got full held on Eichenwald. Not much that anyone could do about that one. You had to try and press some sort of button here, try and change something up, and it seems like it is in the form of this player swap. So, we will see what Team Battalion is thinking here in about 10 seconds. Both teams currently just getting their first rosters in. Air is, of course, playing DPS for the attacker's side, so we'll still have plenty of time to change, but initially, it is an Ashe, so potentially a long-range hit scan specialist for this team.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, the defense showing right now for the side of Devil Dukes looks like they want to try to come in with a dive-style composition here, Divine.
Yeah, the dive is very common here on defense and offense, is able to very quickly reposition from one high ground to the other. You can see that this team is currently getting set up sort of on this close bridge, but it's going to be really easy with the Winston, the Diva, the Tracer, the Soldier to quickly get around to the back high ground, to the blue box, to the back of point A if necessary. That maneuverability, the ability to reposition is really where this composition shines, but because Phone is on that Soldier, you really don't have any long-range hit scan to counter Air on the Ashe.
We'll see what the move is here as Battalion start making their way up to this right side, but Phone has already found Sushi on the Zenyatta, so Battalion already need to back up a little bit here, so it'll be interesting to see what their sort of engages here from the small room. It's already Devil Dukes in a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, this is really tough now. Sushi is separated from the rest of their team, and you really need that Soldier in order for this composition to succeed. You need that Discord Orb to make your shots count even more in order to make your dives even more potent here. So Sushi is going to beat up with the rest of the team, but they are forced to get off of the high ground and are going to try and go up the old-fashioned way up these stairs.
Ooh, good anti-nade coming out from Aplom there onto Sushi. Dropped very low on that Zenyatta. But Star Platinum's just trying to bait out this card a little bit. Make sure to try to get it through the car wash. Get a little clean there as Battalion try to find their way into this slow engage. It's really just a waiting game, and the wait is paid off. BDK able to get the kill onto Silly Shooter, so now the Tracer out of the picture here. So now there's no threat to Sushi or Greninja apart from Phone's long-range Soldier.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that Tracer in the back anymore, so now you can put all your attention forward onto the front line. Dizzy is discorded up and is taking a ton of damage right now as the card slowly but surely inches its way through car wash. BDK gets their second kill of the fight with Phone, taking out both DPS, but the nanoed up Dizzy is going to try and give the team some much needed space.
Yeah, Nano on the Dizzy ends up getting burnt down by Air, showing a really good showing on this Ashe thus far as Devil Duke stuck in the server room trying to find their way out into the world, but Air gets that kill onto Crystal, and now Silly Shooter and Aplom are dead. All of a sudden, Battalion starting to finally make this work, and it looks like they'll be pushing this cart cleanly into point A.
Yeah, nicely done. Of course, starting off with that kill on the Silly Shooter, is able to get themselves a 5v6, and then with that 5v6, Battalion are able to push forward without any threat, are able to really take advantage of both the speed of PDK and Telm, as well as the long-range damage of Air. It is really difficult for Phone to take this Soldier v Ashe duel. Air just has the distance advantage by a long margin. Is going to get some very consistent damage in as well with those dynamites, not to mention 6 ultimates coming up for this team.
Phone gets a tactical visor kill on both DPS for the side of Battalion, and the Transcendence from Sushi doesn't get anything, but already the tanks for Battalion have found 2 kills on the Silly Shooter and Apom, and now Dizzy's dead once again. Battalion showing that the DPS are not the only tool here, and they'll continue pushing that cart clean and steadily through the point 2 for the ship area.
Beautiful stuff there. As soon as it seemed like I was about to eat my words there with a very nice aggressive tactical visor from Phone, they push right back with the Transcendence to keep everyone alive, and then the mines to keep everyone off of the spaceship.
Yeah, big kill, however, from Silly Shooter. Gets that pulse bomb kill onto Sushi, so now there's only one support left on the side of Battalion. Greninja pops the rally, but Air is able to find the kill on the phone as well, so it's possible here for Battalion to try and bring this back. The bomb from Telm doesn't get anything. Able to try and separate the rest of Devil Dukes, however, and now the bomb is infested from Air. The pulse bomb comes out from Star Platinum. It is a whiff as Aplon finds the kill on the Air now, so Battalion starting to struggle a little bit in a numbers game, and Devil Dukes might be able to get a hold here, but Sushi's back in the fight, able to get the kill on the Aplon. It's still winnable here for the side of Battalion, but now Silly Shooter's found Star Platinum. There has to be a retreat imminent here.
There, we would think so, but it seems like you're still fighting right now if you're Battalion, trying to get something done here. Phone goes down, but it is traded out for Greninja. The mines are actually committed here, and it is going to force Tommy out of that mech. He's going to use that self-destruct to clear out the mines, and now there really isn't much firepower left behind this push from Battalion. They are finally going to be forced to back off. And they used a lot to try and push that across the finish line here, Bowsy. The mines are no longer on the table from PDK. You've lost Sushi already, though it is traded out, but you still don't have a ton to work with here. The closest is Telm on that Diva Bomb, but you're playing against the Pulse Bomb from Silly Shooter, and when Phone gets back with that 85% the Tactical Visor, you're going to have a lot of trouble if Sushi doesn't have the Transcendence to counter it.
Yeah, definitely. Devil Dukes also don't have a lot of ults of their own here, so they might be able to try and build them up. Neither does Battalion, so we'll see if they're able to try and build up these ults slowly but steady, and if this Pulse Bomb from Silly Shooter is able to turn the tide here. PDK is just trying to distract, as a Wrecking Ball should. The Devil Dukes know that he's there, and they're just trying to ignore him as much as possible. He tries to go all around the cart, trying to get any sort of distraction. It is working, however. The Tracer, Silly Shooter, and Phone on the Soldier are focusing down PDK on that Wrecking Ball, as the rest of the team is just trying to guard the ship area. It might just be a strat that might be working here for the side of Battalion, as they have some ults coming up here.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the race right now, and now here comes the push. The Transcendence from Sushi is going to open things up, but a beautiful anti-nade is going to nullify that. Greninja and Telm in so much trouble, taken down, and Phone once again making the Soldier 76 work in 2022. A 3K comes out from the DPS player, and now with a minute left on the clock, Battalion's in a whole load of trouble.
They definitely are in a whole load of trouble here dividing, and the ults are not looking good on the side of Battalion either.
Yeah, not at all. No, they used the Transcendence there from Sushi. With 45 seconds left, you're probably not going to get another Transcendence for the rest of this attack if you're not able to get it across that second point. You do have a couple tools to work with here. The mines from PDK. You also have the rally from Greninja to get everyone in, and the bomb from Air to zone everyone away. But this nano from Aplom, you can't lose anyone to this. You've lost Sushi. This is brutal.
Oh, and Air dies too with the bomb online, so now two critical pieces are down here for the side of Battalion, but PDK still in the back line and has those mines online, so there is potential for a touch here.
Yeah, this is a smart move here from Battalion. A very quick, and PDK playing Wrecking Ball like a Tracer right now is able to assassinate Phone in the back, and this might be the opening Battalion was looking for.
Definitely Star Platinum is on the cart, not the C9ing this time, so Battalion will get some sort of overtime push here as PDK's in the backline. Pulse Bomb from Silly Shooter doesn't get anything, it's just a whiff as Devil Duke's trying to continue the hold, and he backs straight up into the mines. That's not a backup that you like to see, but Tommy Slat gets two with the Diva Bomb. It's still winnable here for the Devil Dukes, and they're trying to keep themselves in contention here. The cart is still in overtime as PDK trying to keep themselves alive long enough, but it might not be enough. Phone pops out the Tactical Visor. That's all that the Devil Dukes needed to get the coal here on the cart.
How do Devil Dukes keep doing this? It's actually wild how many times they're able to come back from fights where they're down in clutch situations to put themselves in a very winnable position on their attacks. Now, of course, this isn't the worst attack in the world from Battalion here. You can, of course, get the full hold, and you'll have the entirety of second point to work with as well. You're going to be able to play on top of the spaceship just like Phone was and the rest of Devil Dukes were able to on their attack. On their defense. But I mean, it's still not the best. You really would have liked to at least unlock that third point so you could get some extra push on the cart, force the cart onto open ground so you could get maybe into a more longer range or brawly composition that you were more comfortable with. Instead, you are forced to try and stick with this long-range composition. So you're going to have PDK on the Orisa this time around, trying to keep things at a distance. Star Platinum actually is going to be walking out on the Torbjorn, which I actually like, assuming that Silly Shooter is going to eventually swap over onto that Tracer. That turret is a really nice Tracer deterrent. It's just going to get instantly shocked with that turret damage if she tries to get into the back line. So I think this is a really good kind of counterplay coming out from Battalion.
Would you say it's a good deterrent? Anyway, Silly Shooter will switch over to that Tracer here.
Oh, it's like turret. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it takes a bit to learn, but still, Silly Shooter switching over to the Tracer here as Devil Dukes take the same approach that Battalion made on their attack. And they're faced with that Ash, Phone already trying to get a lot of pressure, and just like before, Silly Shooter using the Tracer to bring the car into the car wash, get it a little bit clean. You know, it's a little dirty after that last push. There was a lot of blood on it, but still, Battalion now making the rotation over to the server room altogether, so
yeah,
interesting move.
I mean, it's a nice rotation, but you just gave up all this space for free. I don't know if I agree with this. You're gonna give Devil Dukes full access to this high ground. You're gonna let them push this cart through the car wash and turn the first point into a one-fight affair. I don't think I agree with this move.
Definitely an interesting move. We'll see if Devil Dukes are able to take advantage of the fact that there's all the way that far. But you see, they're all just bunkered up there, and Sushi's Baptiste is keeping everyone up right now. So the plan is working here for
Bomb has the nano, though. This is going to be the engagement.
Yeah, here comes the engagement. The nano coming out onto Dizzy, able to eliminate the Torbjorn turret first, but still, Battalion's able to keep themselves stabilized for now, and now they're starting to split apart as the rest of the members are of Devil Dukes going straight into that engage. The nade doesn't find anything from Apom, but you see that cart is rounding the second corner, and it's just about to hit the end. Battalion have to start pushing forward, or else they're not going to be able to touch this cart in time. They barely are able to, and Star Platinum gets Dizzy as well, so it's still winnable here for the side of Battalion as they just group up like a brawl composition and try to bring themselves into it. Pulse Bomb lands on a PDK. It is unable to get the kill, but does a lot of damage. The Immortality Field is there from Sushi, and suddenly Battalion able to bring it back into their favor, and they will be winning this point and getting the card hold with 1 meter left.
What a clutch Immortality Field. What a clutch supercharger from Battalion to be able to just barely hold on to that. My goodness, when I saw the cart pushing past the second corner, I thought for sure that Battalion were losing that first point. But all of a sudden, now you're going to be able to set up here with this very defensive comp at the end of point A with 4 ultimates to your name here. You have so much zoning here with the Bob, the Molten Core, the Rally, and the Amplification Matrix going up against a single lonely tactical visor from Phone. That soldier's got a lot of work to do.
They also have Banana Boost online, so be careful here from Phone. The tactical visor comes out, Banana Boost goes on the soldier as well, but there's just so much sustainability here on the side of Battalion, and they're able to keep it alive. Telm uses the bomb, and now all those ults that you mentioned have already been used here for Battalion, safe for 1 bomb coming out from air, and it looks like Battalion will be able to get the hold with those 2 picks coming in favor.
I mean, a bit of an expensive fight, but I mean, you can't argue with the results here. You get both the nano and the tactical visor out of Devil Dukes. That is a combo that you're not going to have again, most likely, especially with that stagger onto Slat is going to make it very difficult for this team. You've got the Pulse Bomb, you've got the Rally, and you've got the Diva Bomb here from to work with for Devil Dukes, which means you actually do have a pretty solid advantage as far as the ultimates go, but you've got to be aggressive with it. You've got to move quickly before Air can get that Bob onto the point and just zone you all away.
Phone also switching over to the Hanzo here to try and get that easy pickup onto Air and eliminate the potential for that Bob in general. So we'll see if Devil Dukes are able to take advantage of it as they start making the engage through the server room, except Phone is on the high ground. Pulse Bomb from Silly Shooter finds Greninja. That is a massive pickup. The bomb as well from Tommy eliminates the Diva Mech of Telm, and all of a sudden Devil Dukes have found their opening that they needed. The bomb came out from Air, but it's not on the cart. It's all the way in the corner or somewhere else, and is not able to try and stall out the cart. Devil Dukes will be able to get this first point here on Watch Point Gibraltar, and now they have 75 meters left.
Oh, and look at all these close spawns that they get to take advantage of right now. Star Platinum down, Greninja down, everyone back to spawn again where they're going to have to take a long trek back to point B. They're not going to be able to take advantage of the high ground. Dizzy is already up on that spaceship, and all of a sudden a situation that was looking dire for Devil Dukes is looking quite swell indeed as they are going to push this point around this first corner, potentially win this map with one more fight.
Devil Dukes making their way around that corner. They still have 2 minutes left. Molten Core comes out here from Star Platinum, and Bone drops extremely low, just barely able to stay alive. The drum is invested here from PDK, and Battalion trying to get some hold on this high ground, but they need to touch that cart. There's someone to touch right there on the cart as Dizzy pops the Primal Rage, trying to knock around Battalion and try to find those kills that could be crucial for the success of Devil Dukes right now. Able to eliminate that drum, which was already out of a timer, but Star Platinum has found Phone, and now PDK finds Crystal. It's winnable here for Battalion, and it looks like they will be getting that hold, as it looks like there might be a retreat here. But as I say that, the NC comes out, Star Platinum and PDK cut, but it's going to be Devil Dukes retreat.
Not quite enough there for Devil Dukes this time around, but still, just you see the effect of winning that last fight on Point A in a staggered fashion. Now all of a sudden, this is the last stand here for Battalion. They have to hold this for the next minute and 7 seconds in order to get themselves back to a tied state, or else it is going to be Devil Dukes moving on to series grand finals point. They are taking a while to get set up here, which means this could very easily be the last full fight for both teams.
Definitely Battalion looking for that engage opportunity. The Hulk comes out from PDK trying to find the pick as the Nano Boost goes on to Dizzy here on the Winston. And already Dizzy's found air. That's a massive pickup coming down from Battalion. The Pulse Bomb gets rid of the mortality field. The Dragon Strike from Phone eliminates PDK. All of a sudden Battalion starting to falter when it matters the most. But Telm still has the mech. Sushi still has the amplification matrix. It's still winnable here for Battalion. 30 seconds remaining and Dizzy's now dead. But now Silly Shooter starting to show up in the kill feed when it matters. Air is back, getting rid of Tommy on that Diva. And Devil Dukes trying to bring themselves back in this fight. It's back and forth. The bomb invested from Air to try and keep everyone alive as Devil Dukes trying everything in their arsenal to keep themselves in this fight. Same with Battalion.
This is all over the place right now, but the spawn advantage is going to be in Battalion's favor right now, and I think that is what is going to do them in the end. They seem to have the advantage if the kill feed has anything to say about it, but the ultimates are coming back online just in time for Devil Dukes.
Yeah, the bomb comes out there from Tommy, able to spread out everyone on the carpet. Star Platinum's turret finds the kill into Dizzy, and now Phone is dead. Battalion, with those close spawns, are trying to bring it back when it matters the most. Post bomb from Silly Shooter, unable to get any sort of kills, as Battalion just trying to stabilize more and more. But now Greninja's dead once again. Aplom also dead on the side of Devil Dukes, as it literally is back and forth. Kills are going everywhere. The bomb invested here from Telm won't be able to get any kills, will bring everybody low, and now the Molten Core from Star Platinum trying to finish it out here for Battalion, and they will get the hold. Battalion tie up the series 2-2, heading into map number 5.
My goodness, I thought after Eichenwald we would be having a pretty quick second half to the series, but Battalion have made the necessary changes and we have gotten ourselves a game again, Bowsy. Fantastic defensive hold from Battalion at the end here to keep things interesting, keep things tied up, heading into the later stages of this semifinal series. Man, what a game we have here.
Definitely a game we have here. 7 meters, less than 7 meters determine that map, and it's showing that these two teams, when they are at their best, they are willing to just go all in and are very close together. This game could go to a map 7 here dividing.
Very easily.
Yeah, we are still on a map number 5, however, and Devil Dukes have to choose our next control map.
Yeah.
So what do they choose here?
Yeah, this is a little concerning, of course, if you're Battalion, because Battalion started off this series with a win, and Devil Dukes got to pick map 2, and this, of course, started a 2-map slide where Devil Dukes were able to figure out Battalion's compositions and were able to effectively counter them. So, Battalion are going to have to try and stop the same thing from happening again, because if it does, that is the end of the series. Of course, Devil Dukes are going to be taking us to Busan, which I think is actually pretty interesting considering a pro gamer is going to be swapped right back in for this one. Farah, I think, is viable on 2 of the 3 maps here. On Downtown and on Shrine, I think they're both very open maps, so Farah can have a lot of value.
Yeah, definitely. There is opportunity here for Farah to be used, but you can also use a lot of different heroes. It'd be interesting to see if we see Pro Gamer put in something that we haven't seen today. I mean, I feel like Pro Gamer has those other heroes. I'm pretty sure I've seen him on the Somber before, but it could depend on what Battalion wants to run here on this comp. Do they want to try to stick with this hardcore Farah composition, or do they want to try to throw a curveball into Devil Duke's strategy? We already know Devil Dukes can counter the Farah compositions, but can they counter a composition that they expect to be a Farah, but isn't?
Yeah, this is just the levels of mind games coming in. So pro gamers coming in, which means they're playing Pharah. But what if they aren't playing Pharah? So we have to play something else because pro gamers going to be playing something that's not Pharah, like maybe a Genji. But what if they're expecting us to expect them to want to play Pharah, but they don't play Pharah, so they actually play Pharah, countering our counter strategy? It's just the insane amount of mind games that Devil Dukes and Battalion are having to get in here. That's why how these teams work to try and just keep on out rock paper scissoring each other, because as you know, Overwatch is the most complicated version of rock paper scissors.
It pretty much is, and it's the mind gaming level of Seoul Dynasty back in Overwatch League Season 2, where they constantly had multiple rosters that they could pull out at any moment's notice and be able to throw out the enemy team. Well, we're heading into Busan here, which will be our 5th map. This is not the decider map. It is a first to 4 best of 7 here in Tranquility Gaming Championship bracket. So the winner of this goes to Series Point. So it's going to be interesting to see which team comes out on top as we start, first off, on Mecha Base.
This is big here for Battalion because this is the one map on Busan where Pharah is not as viable. It's much more closed in. You've got the low ceiling, you've got the closed in terrain, so pro gamer is going to be forced off of that pocket Pharah pick this time around. Instead, unless it is changed in the next 20 seconds, is going to move on to the Soldier 76 instead. But even so, we have a very strong difference in styles. We see Devil Dukes going with the much more traditional Brawl composition. This is the Cassidy Mei comp, where you try and section people off with the Mei walls and go and use the speed boost onto them, while Battalion are going to be going for a more aggressive strategy, the Wrecking Ball Diva Tracer composition, going to be going for more of a dive-ish kind of composition where Sushi gets the Discord on someone and everyone just jumps on top of them at once.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, Battalion setting up on the point side of the engage here, just trying to find their way to a rotation. But you see Devil Dukes, they're trying to out-rotate them and find their way straight into their faces with this Brawl composition, because that's what they want to do. Come up close and try to battle them out. But PDK is going to try to pile drive, gets stunned out by Silly Shooter. A beautiful stun on that Cassidy. You're going to be missing that in Overwatch 2 as Tommy gets the kill on the PDK here to start off the fight. A beautiful engage here from the Devil Dukes as they start cleaning up the point, and that's going to be the first point given to the Devil Dukes.
That's such a dump to morale there right now for Battalion as their first engagement just goes completely off the rails there. And now you're going to go onto your own Brawl comp here. You're going to match a Devil Dukes at their own game. Not only do you have a severe disadvantage when it comes to ultimates, but I honestly don't know how comfortable Battalion are on this Brawl composition map. While Devil Dukes started off on this, tells me that they are in fact very comfortable with this Rhine composition. They play it a lot.
That eye comes out here from Silly Shooter. Immortality Field is invested. A-Plum able to eliminate Sushi's, and now Dizzy swinging away on that Reinhardt has found 2 thus far in this fight. Silly Shooter gets the 3rd, and that's a cleanup fight win here for the side of Devil Dukes.
A perfectly executed Maywell there from Phone. That is exactly how this comp is supposed to work, separating PDK from the rest of his team, and there was nothing that Reinhardt could do, even with every resource in the books thrown at them to try and keep him alive. It was just not enough, and you still have absolutely nothing to work with.
PDK gets frozen up, and Dizzy's able to eliminate Sushi. Dizzy really making the definition of MTD thus far in this map, showing themselves strong here on that Reinhardt. Will get eliminated by Pro Gamer, but at the end of the day, it's another fight win here for the Devil Dukes, and now it's almost last fight territory here for Battalion.
Yeah, and these fights have been going so quickly, and Battalion has gotten so little done. Look at the ultimates. Who's gonna get anything in this round? I mean, maybe Sushi will get that last 25% to the amplification matrix. Telma's pretty close to the Diva Bomb. But you still have nothing, and this Blizzard's gonna be coming out and freeze you all up.
Greninja able to eliminate Phone, however, so it's winnable here for Battalion, but as I say that, 4 kills go in favor for the side of Devil Dukes. Telm has to invest the bomb, trying to get anything with this play, and able to get the remake as well, so A-Plum able to eliminate them, and now it's 95%. Devil Dukes looking very clean thus far.
And that's just gonna be it. My goodness. Bowsy, Battalion used 1 ultimate that entire round. It was just that Diva Bomb from Telm at the end to desperately try and get back into the mech after getting frozen up and demeched by the Blizzard. That was pure domination in the brawl mirror from Devil Dukes, and honestly, after that, I would be looking to try and force Battalion into that mirror match as much as humanly possible moving forward into this one. But of course, can't do that very much here on Shrine. It's a much more open map, which is why we see both teams trying to run compositions that play around that a little bit more. One team trying to try and get around the sides very quickly with a Wrecking Ball, and the other team trying to set up in one spot with a long-range Orisa and just try and sit there and dare PDK to come to them.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, PDK more known for his ball than his Reinhardt, but Fode, well known for their soldier, gets that Phalanx Rocket kill immediately onto Star Platinum and eliminates the Tracer threat here from the side of Battalion. PDK gets that pile drive, but Telm is now dead to Silly Shooter, and right now, Devil Dukes really doing a great job being able to counter anything the Battalion are throwing at them.
You would think that with the Wrecking Ball, that Battalion's comp would be faster, but it really feels like Devil Dukes was able to get into position first. Battalion were waiting for PDK to get into the back and try and get a roll through pile drive, something to try and follow up with the Ashe, with the Tracer, anything. But it just wasn't to be, and Silly Shooter already 80% to the Deadeye. That Cassidy doing so much work in this first fight.
So much work indeed. The pro gamer switched over from the soldier to the Ashe, and Greninja switched over to a Mercy Pocket here. So Battalion want to try to run a more sort of pokey style here with this Ashe, try to get those crucial kills when they can, and pro gamer is going to have to be the guide to that. Pile drive once again comes in from PDK, but the Immortality Field is there, and Phone able to eliminate that ball immediately. Right now, Devil Dukes having being able to do a lot of sustain here, and Phone is just having a masterclass on this soldier right now.
Yeah, they're shutting down Battalion so incredibly quickly. It's just like Mecha Base right now. It feels like Battalion can't do anything. They're just walking in, taking so much damage into choke, and dying. And because of that, 60% and counting, and once again, Bowsy Battalion haven't really gotten a single ultimate so far. They're finally going to get a couple. The Bob from Pro Gamers coming up, as well as those tank ults, but you gotta play into the Tactical Advisor from Phone that has proven deadly so far this series, as well as the Deadeye from Silly Shooter.
Bob will come out on the point here from Pro Gamer, just trying to stall it out as the Deadeye also used here from Silly Shooter. Gets rid of PDK. That ball's having a rough time, and it canceled the mines as well. So now Battalion are already down one of their most crucial ults in this fight, and they're retreating. Or no, actually no. Pro Gamer able to get the kill into Dizzy. It's possible here for Battalion to try and bring this back, but they have to play this carefully.
And not having the Orisa is huge now. Not having that shield to hide behind is going to make things a lot more open for Telm and Star Platinum to get in the back and get some damage done. So, with 99%, it seems like Battalion are going to be able to flip the point back into their control, and now they're in a pretty decent spot. You've got, well, okay, you don't have to pulse them anymore. Star Platinum used it to try and get a stagger kill, and it didn't land. I don't know if I like that. You may have wanted that for this next fight, because now you only really have the Transcendence from Sushi, and with the Diva Bomb, the Supercharger, the Rally, the Amp Majors coming up very soon from Devil Dukes, I mean, that Transcendence is only going to be able to block so much.
Oh, and Telm will fall into the hands of Dizzy. A great window coming out there from Aplon to eliminate that Sigma immediately. And Sushi gets halted and murdered by the Cassidy as well. It's a rough time to be a Zenyatta. We'll get rested up by Greninja. Star Platinum has found Phone in the backline on this Tracer, but now the Baba Pro Gamers is dead as Battalion try to find their way to try and stall this point out. Silly Shooter eliminates Star Platinum in the backline, so it's still winnable here for the side of Devil Dukes, and now PDK is dead. The flip is gone in favor of the Devil Dukes. They're looking really strong on this composition right now, and Battalion trying to find any sort of opening. It doesn't seem like it's going to work. Telm is the only one remaining, and he will die to Dizzy. And at the end of the day, Devil Dukes are going to be able to bring it to series point here with a win on Busan against Battalion. They need one more map to get their chance at the grand finals.
What a magnificent round there from Devil Dukes. You would not think that they were playing an Orisa comp, a comp that is generally characterized as being strong but slow. They were very precise and very certain about their engagements. Like when they saw that Sigma that was off a little bit by themselves by the small drum, they instantly go, okay, we're gonna kill him right now, and just bursted that Sigma down instantly before Sushi could even respond with that Transcendence to save him. That is insane levels of coordination coming out from Devil Dukes that won that last fight for them. And yeah, like you said, that now brings them to series point, grand finals point. And this next, I believe, hybrid map?
Correct.
Hybrid map coming out from Battalion is one with their season lives on the line. They've got to think about this one very carefully.
And you remember the last time they had to choose a hybrid map was when we went to Eichenwald. So that puts even more pressure on.
Yeah, you can't play Eichenwald again.
Nope. Well, we already see one swap coming in here. They are subbing out Pro Gamer, putting Air back in, which Air definitely had a good performance there on Watchpoint Gibraltar. And I feel like Pro Gamer's play has really shown to be a little bit too predictable here for the side of Battalion. They've obviously had that strategy figured out. So now subbing in Air again means that you can play more different strategies. We'll see what they decide to run here against Devil Dukes. Between their two map choices of Numbani and Hollywood, what do they run here?
I want to say Hollywood is probably the better map. I think that based on what we saw from them on Watchpoint Gibraltar with this setup, both maps could be good. I think both maps do have some high ground that you could take advantage of with a more long-range composition like Battalion played on Gibraltar defense that gave them that win. It is going to be Hollywood this time around, but like I said, both sides could have worked here. I think Battalion are going to be putting a lot of eggs into their first point defense basket here on Hollywood, though, as they're going to be able to get really nice and set up with that Orisa-based composition that they seem to like to play with Aaron.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to run here. No swaps, it seems like, coming from the side of Devil Dukes. So we'll see if they're able to make any sort of moves here. And that Hollywood map might be the decider here. This could be the last map Battalion play here in Season 8. But it could also be the second to last map that they play. And the second to last map for Devil Dukes as well. So this is a potential.
Could be the third to last map if they tie.
Please don't bring up the idea of going to a map 8 right now.
Map 8.
You sound
Get him in chat. Get him in chat.
You sound more and more like NPC every single day, and that scares me. But,
I just want to cast more Overwatch, man.
I mean, fair. This has been high-quality Overwatch we have been seeing here, so it's going to be interesting to see if Battalion can keep their season alive and be able to bring themselves into the win here on what could be the final map of the series, unless they decide to win, in which case, this could be a big one. We'll see what they decide to go here as Devil Dukes are waiting. We're waiting for the ready here from Devil Dukes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what these two teams run out with here.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see. Devil Dukes are going to be starting off on the defense, but on their attack, I'm very curious to see if they're going to try and go with a sort of a long-range composition themselves and try and sort of play the poke game with Battalion, or if they're going to try and run a sort of more high-paced dive composition and try and close the distance really fast. We've seen them try to do both of which with mixed results. I'm honestly not sure which of them is better for this team, just based off of this match alone. But that said, I am theorizing off of a half of a map that is not even here yet. We're starting off with Devil Dukes on the defense, Battalion on the offense, and Devil Dukes are probably going to be running something very defensive-minded here for this first point. I would be interested if Tommy actually stays on this Roadhog. I'm not super excited about it. Yeah, it's going to be the Diva once again, but it is the Orisa-based composition that it's kind of been the default Orisa composition that Devil Dukes have been running out with when they decide to run with it. Silly Shooter on the Tracer, Phone on the Soldier 76, Crystal and Aplomb bringing up with a strong backline of Baptiste and Brigitte.
Yeah, this composition definitely plays into Devil Dukes' favors here, so we'll see what they decide, how they decide to react to Battalion's composition, which right now is showing an Ash Hanzo double sniper here.
Yeah. They're definitely going to win the long-range battle here, Aaron Star Platinum, and also don't underestimate how good Star Platinum is going to be at melting down Dizzy's shield. One Storm Arrow is going to basically break it immediately, and it's going to open things up really well here for Battalion to try and get good shots in on the main core of the Devil Dukes comp.
So We'll see what the move is here. Already, Battalion taking that high ground away from Devil Dukes, and Star Platinum finds Foe's head immediately on the opposing high ground. So Battalion making their way through. Noteworthy that they have the Lucy over a Brawl composition with this Orisa Diva.
Yeah.
Shooter, however, able to eliminate Star Platinum here. So Battalion are already down one of their DPS, but it doesn't matter. Dizzy's dead. Aplom's low. Everybody on Battalion pushing right into the enemy team. But Silly Shooter starting to wake up. That's 3 kills thus far for Silly Shooter in this fight, trying to carry it in favor here for the side of Devil Dukes. Aplom takes away that kill on the Orisa, and that's going to be a hold from Devil Dukes.
That is incredible. You see the strengths of both of these compositions in that one fight. In the early fight, the Lucio from Greninja is able to get Battalion around the side of the point, reposition very quickly, and get the early advantage. But later on in the fight, when they have used those abilities, the better healing of the Brigitte is able to carry Devil Dukes through in the late fight.
And all of a sudden, Battalion, they try to go through the stairs. The Tracer was waiting, got rid of the Immortality Field with the Pulse Bomb, and at the end of the day, Devil Dukes just get the team wipe thanks to Aplom's Amplification Matrix. So that's going to be a one fight for the Devil Dukes once again.
Yeah, that is a beautiful play, shutting down that fight before it could even really get started, and you only use 2 very quickly charging ultimates in the Pulse Bomb and the Amplification Matrix to do so.
I see that the Devil Dukes or the Battalion are trying to push into this side way. They have the drum coming out from Battalion or PDK, excuse me. Bone uses the Tactical Visor, able to eliminate Helm, but Air is able to eliminate that pesky Tracer of Silly Shooter. So it's possible here the Battalion could bring this back, but Air gets eliminated here by Tommy, and the rest of PDK just trying to find their footing here. Tommy ends up using the bomb here, trying to get the remake, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a lost fight here for Battalion. But Star Platinum and PDK willing to still invest into this. Ooh. They're going to use that Dragon. It doesn't get eaten. It doesn't kill anybody, however. It just forces out a lot of damage.
So low. I can't believe Crystal actually managed to live through that Dragons. That is so clutch. We keep that Brigitte on the field. Bone's gonna take Greninja, gets traded out in response though, but as long as this fight stays in these sort of very tight side rooms, the Tracer is going to have so much of an advantage compared to the Hanzo on the other side. And now, oh no, what a brutal stagger onto Telm is going to force Battalion to wait another 10-15 seconds before they can get another really good fight in. They do have the beat here from Greninja, but again, 60 seconds on the clock, and they've got to get something going now. You can't be full held for a third map in this series and expect to win it.
Now making their way through the long way. They have the Amplification Matrix coming out from Aplom. It only eliminates the Immortality Field, and they just take a rest in the cafe. Get a little bit of rest and relaxation. You know, Starbucks is always known for that. Battalion now make their way back onto the point with the beat from Greninja, and Dizzy's dead to Air. Pulse Bomb comes out, unable to fight anything from Silly Shooter. Now the the Tactical Visor comes out from both, able to eliminate Helm on that Diva, and now suddenly Devil Dukes pounding on top of Battalion, finding kills one by one. And Sushi's Amplification Matrix won't do enough, and that drum from PDK will do absolutely nothing. It's a team kill for Devil Dukes.
The Amp Matrix, the Supercharger, was just too little too late. There was no one alive to benefit from it. And oh no, Telm gets met in the side room, isn't going to make it. And for the third time in the semifinal match, Bowsy Battalion are not going to be able to see past point A. This is brutal for them. Now 58.4% of the points separates Devil Dukes from a 4-2 victory in this match and getting themselves a grand finals berth. One really good fight is all they need.
One fight is all they need right now to be able to bring themselves into grand finals. 58% taken here from the side of Battalion. 59 would put Devil Dukes in the winning spot here. Battalion need to come up with something big here on this defense. And it looks like they're sticking with that double shield composition that we've seen them on most of this map.
Yeah, it is kind of the default composition here. Telm and PDK are going to be really sturdy on this high ground. So many shields that Silly Shooter and Phone are going to have to try and break through or get around, in which case Star Platinum is going to be ready with that flashbang. But I just feel like there needs to be something different here from Battalion in order to really change the tides of the match like they really need to do right now. They need to bring out something new, something different, either in their compositions or their play, in order for me to believe that they can take back this fuller hold and get ourselves to a map 7. And based on at least the composition part, I'm just not seeing that.
Well, we'll see what they decide to run here. Devil Dukes running with their stock standard composition we've been seeing with them all match. This Orisa Diva composition with that Soldier Tracer. And Battalion are holding up on that far high ground, just trying to get those picks that they need. Devil Dukes realize this, and they're taking that far right advantage.
Yeah, this is now a really interesting situation here for Devil Dukes. How are you going to try and deal with this double shield composition set up on the top of Cafe? How you're going to try and counter this really nice high ground that they have.
The phone is on the other high ground, just pampering in damage. Battalion need to try and touch this point as it's very closely contested. And Phone's already found air. The first pick is going in favor of the Devil Duke. Star Platinum able to eliminate Silly Shooter, but at the end of the day, Battalion can't touch.
Wow.
The doors were shut in their face. And Devil Dukes will head on to face off against either Devil Decapitators or Epizeuxis in the grand finals for Transcendence tier.
A beautiful play there from Devil Dukes, taking a look at that fearsome double shield composition on the high ground and going into it with zero fear, just jumping onto the objective, forcing Battalion to try and come to them, try and contest it, and the response just came too late. It seemed like throughout the entirety of the series, when it came down to it most, and when you had to be super, super clutch, Devil Dukes were able to consistently get a step on the Battalion and take them off guard over and over and over again. And that's exactly what we saw at the end of Hollywood.
Absolutely. Devil Dukes doing a really good job of showing what they are made of and showing that they are not here to mess around. They are going on to the finals and going off to face off to try and get that Season 8 championship title. But now, as the dust is settled here dividing, we need to choose ourselves a player of the match. Who do you think is your player of the match from Devil Dukes?
Ooh, that is a tough one. I think a lot of people on Devil Dukes had a lot of really nice moments. It definitely was a team effort today. It wasn't one player really taking over the match and carrying everyone through the fight. That being said, the most consistent person that I saw really making a difference in this one was Phone. I'm going to go with them this time around. The Pharah plays really put Pro Gamer in their place just when it seemed like that they were going to completely take over this series. Had some fantastic moments on the Soldier 76 as well, and I will always appreciate Soldier 76 play in 2022.
Absolutely. Phone did a lot of good things throughout this matchup, but I'm going to be giving my player of the match to... Totally forgot the name that I was going to say here. I'm looking for it real quickly. It was the... Hold on, I can see it real quickly. Silly Shooter. That's who I was going to go for. Silly Shooter definitely was a strong presence on the DPS. We talked about it early in this matchup. It really was going to be a show up of the DPS, and Silly Shooter and Phone showed up when it mattered the most. So you give your player of the match to Phone. I'm giving mine to Silly Shooter. I know you're in the chat, Silly Shooter. I apologize for accidentally forgetting your name, but still a really good performance for both the DPS here from Devil Dukes. So I'm giving my player of the match to Silly Shooter 6. Now that it does it for us here tonight, but we still have other matches later this week. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same place, as we find out who's going to be facing Devil Dukes in that grand finals matchup. The match of the other Transcendence tier match this week, Decapitators versus Epizeuxis, will be going on tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Distance Time. It's going to be one heck of a matchup here. And again, the winner faces off against Devil Dukes to determine that Transcendence tier matchup.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Of course, for Battalion, the season ends for them, but they can walk away with their heads held high. They definitely accomplished a lot this season, coming away with the #1 seed from their region in this championship bracket. Got a bye going into this tournament and definitely put up a fantastic fight, taking 2 maps off of Devil Dukes today. As far as Devil Dukes go, even though We gave our players of the match and everything. I really want to hammer home that this definitely was a team effort. There was no individual that really pushed them over the top today. It was really good synergy and really clutch moments from the entire team, which makes them a truly scary opponent for whoever's going to face them next week.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be a very scary time. It's going to be interesting to see what team takes advantage there. But that is going to do it for us here in Tranquility Gaming. For everybody here in the production, including my wonderful co-caster Dividing and our wonderful producer Keisho, we thank you all for watching. Until we meet again, we hope you have an amazing night.
System of failure.